The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 403 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. We're going to call this one a sunny day in LA, as Son is now officially a part of LAFC. We won his heart, everybody. He's a part of us now. So we are definitely going to celebrate that today. He isn't the only one, of course, that has entered the club, right? We actually have Matthew Chonier and Ryan Porteous to talk about as well. So yes, the reinforcements have arrived. It's a good time to be an LAFC supporter. Yes, we did crash out of Leagues Cup, but on a bright note. So we'll cover that too, as we had a brilliant win with a modified lineup. So we'll get you up to date on that one too. And of course, preview our next match against a well-rested Chicago Fire. It's busy times, that's for sure. Not too busy, though, since Leagues Cup is now gone and we have more important things to worry about. Of course, make this thing happen. We've got Bam today and we've got Araceli. Tony is in transit back to Los Angeles. He might find a way on if he can. No pressure, though. If he misses this one, you know to get him for the next one. That's for sure. Araceli, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Glad to be back to talk footy with you guys, because I know I've been gone for a couple weeks here. But as we all know, I went down to Austin for MLS All-Star Week, which was really great. Got to see a lot of our colleagues down there. And after that, just kind of took some time to myself because, as I'll mention later in the show, things are starting to ramp up on the next pro side of things, with playoffs coming up very soon, actually.
Oh, yeah. Definitely playing for keeps. I know LAFC 2 is probably not going to be in the show, but doesn't matter. The show goes on, right?
There is a very slim margin. They could snag the last spot, but a lot of things need to happen.
So you're telling me there is a chance?
There is a chance. It's very slim, but there's a chance.
We'll keep hope alive. That's for sure. Hopefully they do pull something off there. In the meantime, though, again, they do have some games, so we'll definitely cover that, and Araceli will get us all up to date there too. Bam, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay. It's going to be a long night for me tonight. I'm a bit of a completionist, and a new watch of a collection that I've got going at the moment drops tomorrow, and it's been sold tomorrow only. So I'm going to be getting into the city around midnight to line up for it, because it doesn't go on sale. It's like 10 a.m.
Nice. Yeah, I'm beta testing a certain game I can't discuss, but yeah, that too. I might be doing that. Yeah, all is good. I gotta say, like I said, we're not in the tournament anymore, but let's be honest, we weren't that hurt about that. Especially when we can land on this soft landing of knowing that the club's made a major change and a major splash, and it's kind of changed just to the next chapter. Let's be honest. It's the new era for LAFC in an instant, as Son Heung-min is now a member of the black and gold. Of course, we saw the press conference yesterday and all that he said. Again, an amazing player, amazing talent, amazing human being. That's all you hear from everybody is what a class act he is as an individual, and an ambassador wherever he goes. And you could see the way he presented himself at the event, that he's here for the right reasons, right? His mindset is in the right place, and it's going to be a lot of fun to have him here. And of course, linking up with the players that we have on hand, could have some fireworks, much needed fireworks, with an offense that has struggled for a bit here to produce opportunities, really finish as well. Something was missing, and if he is that piece, he very well could be that piece. Let's do this. Bam, how are you feeling after the announcement, of course, the press conference?
I was able to catch a bit of the press conference. Had it going while I was doing some work yesterday. I liked his honesty.
Mm-hmm.
His big honesty was, this wasn't my first choice. Which, how many players do you know have said that in the past, where this wasn't my first choice? But as you said, talking to JT and all that kind of stuff, it was amazing. During the press conference, there was one person that said something that I'm sitting there going, you obviously don't know anything about soccer, but we'll leave that to that. It's good to see that some politicians are getting around it, they just don't understand it.
Yeah. I mean, it reminded me when Schweinsteiger went to the Chicago Fire team we're playing coming up. And yeah, local politicians said, "Oh, I can't wait till he wins the World Cup for us." And everyone was just kind of grumble. Are you kidding? Here we go again. Welcome to MLS. And then it got all over the cycle. Well, here we go again. Star player comes. Same mistake happens. Again, they're there. Even the mayor was there at the press conference and had something to say, pretty much giving him the keys to the city. But yeah, there's some learning. I mean, Son took it in stride, didn't even make a response, just let it go, right? When it first happened live, I didn't even process it, to be honest. It was like, politicians talking to now. But hey, and her district is Koreatown. So hey, if South Korea does win the World Cup, I mean, maybe, they might see it there. It might present there. You never know. So yeah, that was fun. That was hilarious. But other than that, hey, Philly got a question, and that was cool. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. I did see that. I did have a little joke with him on their last episode that they did, going disappointed he didn't do what most of the other people that were asking questions did, ask it in Korean then English, but something for Philly to work on.
Or ask it in German. His German is better than his English. I kid you not. For those who've seen, like, when he won, and yeah, his last trophy, right? When we went out on top, he kind of made fun of Harry Kane a little bit. He had a good laugh, and it was completely in German. It was awesome. So Philly speaks German too, so you might have fun with that one in the future. I'm just saying. Could be good. Araceli, I know you're working with the league. You're getting the buzz from that end as well as the fan perspective across the league. What are your thoughts on this deal?
No, I think it's a really great deal, not only for LAFC, but for MLS in general, because, I mean, we already kind of know the other star power that this league is attracting, like with Thomas Mueller going to Vancouver. So to see another round of stars, per se, kind of kick off this new era in MLS, it's obviously very exciting. But at the same time, going back to just a club level here, seeing not only his addition, but the other additions of what's it? Where are there? Portis and Chanier.
Yeah, Ryan Porteous, a Scottish international,
Mm-hmm.
and then Matthew Chonier, Canadian international. Again, both national players in their own right, and we did see a bit of Chonier, midfielder, come in and looked the part, looked really good in the few minutes that we did get to see him play in the Leagues Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Really good, honestly. I can't wait to see what Porteous has to offer as well. But we're pretty much looking down the spine here, right? Like, you needed two critical players there that can show up, and now you have Son that is gonna spark it. And if Martinez can do what he's doing, maybe he's gonna slide middle. I mean, we don't know. They're gonna have to do something, because if Martinez plays the way he's playing, how do you keep him out of the lineup? There's a lot of entertaining options now. Honestly, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'll go to you, Bam, on this one. Now that you've seen it, and as Araceli mentioned, these other players match in, I mean, our starting 11 could look very different by the time we take the field in Chicago, right?
Oh, 100%. Well, not just Chicago, because I'm pretty sure Son won't be playing until at least the end of the month. I don't know what the transfer things are like with Ryan Porteous. I think Chanot should be able to go straight into it.
Yeah, he already played in Leagues Cup. So
Leagues Cup. Yeah, he's good. But yeah, Porteous, I don't know. Maybe not play against Chicago. Maybe the game after. But looking at it all, end of the month, beginning of next month, it's going to look a lot different. Because Araceli could confirm this. When does the transfer window close?
I believe it closes at the end of this month.
It's late. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very late.
Yeah, so
it
going
could
about
be
that too
somebody
is
else, too.
somebody else in, and some people could leave too. We've still got that possibility. It's just we'll see what happens, and I think just looking forward to the game we just played too. A lot of those young kids did step up, did show out, so there could be some moves going for them as well. Because let's be honest, with the world media looking at us with Son, they're also getting glimpses of all these other players as well.
I mean, the value of Smolikov right now, it's surging at this point. Every game, he gets better, right, Araceli?
Oh, definitely. And very quickly, I did Google it. The transfer window closes on the 21st.
Yeah, it's late. Very late. So, yes, some movement will definitely happen then. So, yeah, there's Smolikov, like we said. Our other defender that we have. I know he's not a kid anymore, but he's looking the part. Martinez is looking the part. Ordaz, when he's not suspended, is looking the part. Yeah, it's nice to see these young players stepping up in these moments. We need this. It creates competition, something we've needed for a while here. It seems like the kids are playing better than the vets at this time. So, got to be versatile. Would be a good thing, right, Pam?
100%. And you look at it too, is the kids that did play, they are looking better than some of their vets because they're showing, yes, I can play this. Yes, I can do this. Get me in there. Give me a shot.
It can't hurt, honestly, at this stage. You got to do something. Can't stand pat. We didn't, obviously. Thornton's put in a lot of work here this last, long game with Son, but last few months here, it's been, you see, he's been putting in some extra hours and a lot of flight time. And it's going to pay off. We see it now. I do see some reactions from our faithful. I think this would be a good time to check on you guys since we're now talking about this announcement, and we know why you're all here. That's for sure. So let's see what we got on here. We've got Dave. He says it's a sunny day. Exactly. New era LAFC. That presser announcement. Who invited the drunk councilwoman, and why didn't Thornton go over what not to say? It's tradition now in MLS that some politician has to say something to remind us that, oh yeah, this is the United States of America. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Completely nuts. Let's see. Oh yeah, Dave saying when will Sonny debut? I mean, we're not sure, to be honest. It's open, so it could be now. But would you rush him? That's a hard one.
Well, no, that too. You look at it too. Is we've got 3 away games right now. Do you want to debut him away, or do you want to debut him at home?
Yeah, or risk it, right? He's not even in our house yet. I think the way this club is, they're gonna give him minutes on the road. I don't know. Why would you? It's here, Lucky those travelers, they could see this moment, but I don't know. We got to get our standings in order. We haven't looked great in league lately. Been faltering in league lately. Something's got to give. David Day Galaxy fans have fodder for us for Son's entire stay with LAFC. Oh, I'm sure they're not done spending next year, not this year. They have no money this year, but they're a selling club this window. They're gonna lose talent, not gain it. But next year, I'm sure they're gonna have somebody to buy. Yeah. And Dave also says love Chenier. Yeah, I did too, man. It was good to see what he had to offer. It was instant. He fit perfect. And then David Day says, no question about it. We need a SoFi Stadium game at some point. Son versus Messi in February to kick off 2026 season. I don't know. I love our stadium. I love our location. I love the intimate atmosphere. And let's be honest, our supporters have earned the right to serenade him in the North End. for all the work that they've put in all these years. It's our moment. It's our stadium. It's our time. It's our city. Downtown. This is how it's supposed to be. And if you've got your season ticket, congratulations. You just got access to an amazing moment. If you don't, I guess you should buy some because I think they're for sale. They'll sell that rather quickly now. But yeah, I wouldn't open it up to that place. Nah, forget it. Keep it tight. That's my thought. Jonah B says, let's hope Sonny wins the World Cup for the USA. There we go. By USA, he means LAFC, right? We're gonna translate for Jonah on behalf of the councilwoman.
Well, technically, there is a chance that it, and it's like a 0.0000001% chance it can be a South Korea USA final, where Son just kicks 5 own goals to make it USA win 5-4.
Oh gosh. I would never wish that on him. That would just be evil. Yeah. Yeah, and I again, it's hilarious. I laugh now. I used to like, oh, cringe. Oh, I don't care what people think about us. I got to be honest. I really don't care. Players are coming now. It really doesn't matter. I go to my games. I enjoy my games. I don't really give a care about the world's opinion of MLS. MLS has to do its job. We do ours. Yeah, if a politician goes off, let him. A lot worse these days. So, than a misquote. Yeah. David Day also says, Scarsy, you give me the stadium games. The Coliseum is right there. If you don't like Inglewood, I'm not against the Coliseum games. We never even had that yet. So, yeah.
For me, it's you have such a beautiful stadium at BMO. Why go to the Coliseum?
I mean, for me, for the support, like Sun's gonna be between me and like screen right here. Like the whole action's right there in front of us for all of you, all the way around this place. Like it's just beautiful. And the beautiful views of downtown. Like it's why we built it there, people. Like it's why it is the way it is. This is those moments that we built this place. This is why we have it. So yeah. And Dave's laughing at us. I get you, man. I get you, dude. Trust me, though, no matter what we think, you know where it's going to end up, right? A lousy game at the Rose Bowl, because there's always a lousy game at the Rose Bowl when they want to make money. Cash grab Rose Bowl. That's how it works. So at some point, MLS will force us into a game at the Rose Bowl and make as much dollars. Maybe an LAFC versus Tottenham Hotspur exhibition match. You know how that runs. And Bam's shaking his head because he knows it's probably going to happen, right?
No, so what it would be a 5th MLS Liga MXC Cup that they're going to create next year just because they can create it, and it will be played at the Rose Bowl only, and as an exhibition match for that to get some interest in it, it'll be us versus someone.
Yeah. Again, the league's going to find its way to maximize the dollar. You know that's going to happen. So, yeah, you'll get your way, David. At some point, you'll get your way. Are we on board for it? Nah. Are we going to be there? Probably. But, yeah, we get it. They're going to maximize the dough. Jonah B, of course, says Mueller to Vancouver, but why? Well, look at it this way for Mueller. I don't think we could afford both of them. Now that we know how much we paid for Son, there was just no way we were going to pull that off. As much as I wanted it, and it was heartbreaking to see him in that shirt yesterday. That hurt me, man, honestly. But I'm also happy for him, like very happy for him. He's the face of that franchise. He's not sharing the light at all. Here he would be sharing the light. And that's a club that hasn't had any real success yet outside of Canadian Cups. But that's not the goal, right? It's something bigger. And they have a lineup where he fits in better. He actually does. If you see what they're going to do with that lineup, it's a perfect fit for Vancouver, tactically. So that's, I think, why. He just, if you looked at it, it's going to play into his hands in their hands. Much better to have him there than here. I think we're going to move at a speed that they don't quite, the way teams operate. What we're looking for is more of a run and gun counter transition, and Son fits that better than Mueller. So he fits us better than what Mueller would have done for us. And for them, they need a guy that they can plug into the middle and distribute and create spaces with his movement so the others can put in that work. So that's why things worked out the way they worked out. Would I have liked them both here? Oh, hell yeah. But it just, again, it's MLS. We don't have that kind of dough. At least we're not allowed to have that kind of dough unless we play in Miami, and then you can have all the dough you want. But yeah.
Also, too, when you look at Mueller's press conference, just like how Son was crediting Messi for, putting him onto MLS, Mueller was crediting Alphonso Davies for selling him on Vancouver. And like how you were saying with the dynamic and their playing style, I think he does work better for Vancouver. Like you said, obviously it would have been cool to see him in a black and gold jersey, but at the end of the day, it's better to have him a little spread out. But that's just my opinion, of course.
That and Vancouver is switching to grass next season. They are, because of a certain tournament coming to town. So that he'll be okay, I guess. Got to just survive for a few months here. But they, they're going to make a run. Obviously, I think we're going to make a run. That could be your conference final if everything works itself out. There's others that have something to say about that, of course. But on paper, I love saying that. On paper, I mean, these teams should be stepping up at this point. We'll see, But yeah, they've got strength. We've got strength in our own ways. And that's going to be, I know, all too familiar with that team, but we will meet again. I don't doubt that. Right, Bam?
Oh, 100%. Like, we don't play them for the rest of this MLS season. And I'm really looking forward to playing them in the finals, because that's what's going to happen. Let's be honest. We always play them in the final or something like that. But they're going to be as much as the amount of times that we've always played them, and we have smacked them around a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad they've gone out and gotten Mueller. The way they've gone this year has been tremendous, and I was glad seeing that another team in the West has went, let's spend some money, let's get this, let's not just be the babies of the West, let's step up and show out that we can play and we can get big names.
They needed this desperately, honestly, because Toronto's had their moments and they've overspent and put themselves into a crater pretty much. But they were that showcase for Canada, right? And then they've found their way out. Montreal's never quite got the engine running. And Vancouver not quite yet, but now it looks like maybe this is their moment. And that's okay. Honestly, they're in our conference. They're supposed to be a rival. You would want strong rivalries. Do your job and beat them, right? But still, for the sake of the league, you need teams to step up, and this is a step-up moment for Vancouver.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the table right now. You've got CF Montreal in 29th, 2 points ahead of Carson. You've got Toronto FC 25th. They're only 3 points ahead of Montreal.
Okay.
Then you jump up to 5th place with Vancouver, who are a point behind San Diego, 2 points behind Nashville, 4 points behind Cincinnati, and 5 points behind Philadelphia.
It's just, they have to showcase this team right now. The other teams, there's going to take a while for the other two to really wake up and get back into the mix. Vancouver's on the edge of being one of the elite teams. They really are. The talent is there. The age is right for most of their talent. They needed a veteran. They got one. So they're there. We're where we're at. I'm happy where we're at with the signings we've had so far. So let's make this happen. Good comments from all you guys. Keep them going. We're going to cover a lot more, of course. Now, beyond that, beyond the signing, I know we'll revisit as we talk about the next match coming up. There's other things going on, of course. LAFC 2, they keep firing away. I'm going to go to Araceli to get the LAFC 2 coverage before we talk about the last match, of course. What is going on with LAFC 2, Araceli?
Well, first off, with LAFC 2, I think it's fair to say that they haven't been faring well this season. But before I get too deep into that, next up, they will travel to Tacoma to face the Defiance this Sunday at 8 o'clock. The match will be streamed on NextPro's site. As far as the league update goes, LAFC 2 is currently in 13th place with 23 points, and they are 6 points away from the playoff line. So as I mentioned earlier, there's a very, very slim chance that they could snag that last spot. However, it is important to note they do have a negative 10 goal differential. So that could be the smoking gun if they're not able to correct that in the next couple of weeks here. The top player to watch right now is Tommy Mahalik. He has 8 goals this season, a goal in 4 straight matches, and he was even called up with Cabral Carter for this last match with Tigres. Decision day is October 5th with playoffs to follow later that month. So things are starting to wrap up for Next Pro or ramp up, however you want to look at it. But with LAFC 2, obviously, I would like to see him in better standings for a playoffs picture. But like with anything else, anything can happen because looking at the Western Conference, it's very tight, almost a point difference between the teams right now.
So they're 2 wins out of the playoff spot, and there's a lot of games left. So it's not done yet.
It's not over till
Gonna
it's
need
over.
help. Yeah. Okay. And of course, you got to get results in this league, right? So a lot of points fly back and forth. So things can swing. That's for sure. Man, Tommy's putting in some work. I love it. And it's nice to have 2 to get called up for Leagues Cup because it's important. That's what we need to see. And that might be the better story this year more than the results or anything else. The fact that you have 2 players that are impressing enough to get a look-see. So, yeah, good stuff, Araceli. And then, yeah, you said decision day is October 5th. And then how long is the playoffs for MLS next?
The playoff window officially begins the week of the 17th, and it will go through with the final itself being on November 7th, I believe, this year.
Man, it really does mirror the top division pretty much. So, okay. A lot of football to be played. Busy times for sure. Thank you, Araceli. And of course, I will say this, guys, go to the games when you can. 3252 has been going strong for a lot of these and been trying out a lot of new stuff. So if you really want to experiment with some new songs, new style stuff, yeah, that's the experimental zone at this point for 3252. So enjoy it while you can. That's for sure. All right, so that's the story of LAFC 2. Let's get into that last Leagues Cup match, of course, talking about the match against Tigres, who's found their way into the next round, even though they lost to us in this one. Last day. Interesting lineup, that is for sure. We totally modify this thing. Denny got to sit for this match, so it was pretty much kind of a reserve vibe. So we had Hassal in goal. Again, another match for him. Tafari, Nielsen, Palencia, Amaya, Saldana, Smolikov, Raposo, Ibobase, Yaboa, and Martinez in our lineup. And I believe it was a 3-man back with wing backs. Yeah, very, very different. Interesting look. And of course, it was pretty much the Martinez show for this thing. And really, first half, LAFC looked the part. They took the game to Tigres. It got rough towards the end of getting dominated by these guys, but it doesn't really matter, right? You're trying to get a result. You're trying to make it happen. Scrappy, of course. Chippy, as expected. Tigres with honestly an elite side. They didn't rest, a lot of players, and actually Gignac was in the starting lineup, so they really weren't messing around. They were trying to get their result. But chances go begging. Gets to about the 38th minute, we get a penalty, clear cut. Tillman gets taken down in the box. Contact was made. It's that simple. You can debate it all you want, right, Bam? I mean, clear cut to you, right?
Oh, 100%. The moment there's contact in the box, doesn't matter who you are, that player goes down, penalties straight away. I did love how Planter ran in and started asking for them to get a yellow card for that, but obviously that didn't happen. But it was good to see him saying, "Where's the yellow card? Give him a yellow card."
Yeah, you got to do something, right? That's how it works. Of course, we go to half, all excited. We got this moment. Come back out again. And LAFC doing LAFC things. We just, we kind of throw one back and they get an easy one in the 47th minute and they get back into the mix. It's so annoying when these things happen. And then the battle continues until Martinez in the 64th minute takes the run of his life yet again, nearly half line, takes out the outside defender, arcs around him pretty much, cuts in, and just nicks it underneath the keeper. And yeah, amazing finish. And of course, makes it look like I don't care. I scored. The vibe he gives off when he scores just it cracks me up. Yeah, I just did that. No big deal. Like he's done it before. No biggie. Puts it away. Euphoria, right? We've got 2 on these guys. This is Tigres, people. And then have to hold on for dear life. Of course, some subs come in. Hollingshead comes in for Amaya. Delgado comes in for Saldana. Tillman does have to replace Ebobase. I forgot about that. That did happen earlier in the match. They did come out for injury. Chonier came in for Yaboa. Igor Jesus came in for Martinez. I think the story of the subs, though, had to be Chonier. This was his moment, his debut for us. And honestly, we had some killer chances just from a few little touches that he made. Right, Bam? I mean, he was looking special out there.
It was good to see. But yeah, having this makeshift lineup, I thought Haslin goal was amazing. He did everything he could. I can see him being our main backup over Ochoa now. I think he's cemented that spot. He's that backup keeper now. He's jumped Ochoa. Just seeing how the players all went together for a team that's rarely played together with that lineup. I thought they did amazing.
Yeah. Again, 62% possession for Tigres. I mean, they were just pushing us at the end of this. They were throwing everything they possibly could. We did have some chances to counter them. Shots on goal were equal, 5-5. Talking about efficiency on the day, right? We only had 9 shots and 5 got on goal. We were doing our part for what we could do under the circumstances with the modified lineup we had. Applaud the boys. They finished strong. Yes, the tournament didn't go our way. We were behind the 8 ball from that first match against Mazatlan and could not get back from that. But hey, on the last day with a modified lineup, we'll take it. We'll take the moment. And of course, Sonny in the crowd was another high point. So good on them. Martinez, if you can have more of these days, we're going to get a lot of phone calls for his services elsewhere. That's for sure. And maybe he can help push us to that next level within MLS. And maybe we can lift something down the line. Who knows? But I'm happy with the performance. That's for sure. Bam, I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that. I'm glad that competition is done now. We don't have to worry about it. So now we get back into the league and try and see what we can do there.
Definitely. And then Araceli, I know you've been following this tournament so far. Having only 4 teams from MLS be able to even move on to the next round kind of makes it a tough one, right? One little slip up and you're kind of out of the show anyway. Yeah, three and out, but it doesn't really feel like 3 and out, does it?
No, I don't think it really does. And I know we all have criticisms when it comes to Leagues Cup as a whole, but I mean, ultimately, MLS play just matters a little bit more in this sense. So,
yeah, I think Liga MX teams probably need to have more concern than ours at this point because I was a little surprised. Some I think really didn't. They're kind of like ours, where you're modifying lineups, just getting through it and getting back to league play. But Yeah, I'm not sure what next year's going to look like the way this one looked. That's for sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. All right. So on that note, yes, we're out of the tournament. I guess there's some match that was closing out pretty soon tonight. Whatever. Tournament's over for us, so that means tournament's over. We've moved on, and we got to play a team that didn't even play in the darn thing this weekend. So that's that. Yeah. Final impressions for me. Hey, the kids featured. Good on them. Like Bam said, we'll move on. Leagues Cup is gone. Let's see other things we do want to talk about, of course, community news before we get into our songs, and you know how we are with the songs. There's the match this weekend. I did want to throw it out there. Bam, do you want to cover community? Or do you want me to jump on this bad boy?
You can jump on it.
You got it. All right. So there will be a 32-52 watch party coming down the line for an August 23rd match. I'm not going to talk about that. Leave it for the next thing. We'll talk about the Chicago match. Illin Element does have a watch party at Good Day Bruco, located on 130 West Walnut Avenue in Paris. Cuervos, Lucky's, Offsiders, Expos, and 420 Originals will be at Kings Row Gastropub on Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. Empire Boys will be at Rowdy's Bruco in Rancho Cucamonga. Great location. These are football people. You'll have a good time there if you go. TSG will be at Baja Grill Cantina on Wilshire. Yep, in LA. D90 will be at Crowns, and that'll be St. Julian Street in Los Angeles. So, yes, there are watch parties happening, and I believe Black Army will be at the Brujeria this weekend. So, that as well. Again, everyone's got a watch party. There's a lot to celebrate, right? As we get back into league play. So if you can make it out, make it out. It should be fun. And again, maybe somebody's going to feature that day. Maybe two other people are going to feature that day. It'll be a good game against Chicago. So there goes that. All right. On to the Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute. You knew we had to say something in regards to Sonny being here. So let's have fun with this. Bam, you had a thought. What was your... We're all going to have one because it's such an important day for the club. We're all going to have a moment here. I'm going to start with you, Bam. What's your song of the day or album of the day?
Well, my song actually comes off an album from 1976, so back into the disco era. It comes from the album Take the Heat Off Me by Boney M, and the song is obviously Sonny. When the opening lyrics for the song started with Sonny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Sonny, you smiled at me and you really eased the pain. So he's going to ease the pain for us so far this year. We're going to move on to it and it's going to get better.
There we go. Now I am going to go with the 1966 version of Sonny from Bobby Hebb. Album title, Sonny. And if you know it, you know it. Classic. And the same thing. It's a love song, yes. And we're hoping this definitely becomes a love song as Sonny takes over Los Angeles and guides us with Bawanga and the boys to glory. That is the plan. I think Tony threw this out here. He went with Saha Boys, Your Idol from the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack. I know that's popular right now, guys. Netflix, right? Yeah, so he went with the K-pop. Are you shocked? I'm not shocked. So there you go.
You stole
and
mine.
Now, I know. And that was Araceli's choice. So Araceli, you know more about it than I do. How good is this song?
That is such a good song. But the song that I go to for K-pop Demon Hunters is Golden. Because, I mean, just the title alone kind of self-explains it. And the overall theme of the movie is about sealing the Hun Moon. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it after you listen to us, because highly recommend it.
It's getting a lot of love, guys. Honestly, it is. So have fun with it. I know my kids love it. They do. So they're into it. Yeah. So there you go. Golden makes sense. Your Idol makes sense. It's all good, guys. So make your own soundtrack. We'll add this one to that long-term soundtrack that Tony's building up for all of us. It's on, guys. Time to celebrate. That's for sure. All right. Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute out the door. What do we do next? Yeah, we preview a match. That's what we do. So the Chicago Fire, the very interesting rebuilt Chicago Fire. Ups and downs all year, new faces, new coach. Yeah, it's an interesting day for the Chicago Fire. Right now, they got a 10-5-9 record, 35 points. Have been off for a while. I know we've got 36 points, but have played less games. We're 10-6-6. They're kind of on the edge of the playoff line. That's where they've been for most of the season, trying to get that string of wins to get into it, but they're close. And if you've watched any of their games recently, you're like, yeah, they got the talent level, They got to stay healthy, and that's been an issue for them, but talent level is definitely there. Last 2 games, they did get wins. Of course, their last game was July 26th. Yeah, they've had a rest for sure. They've needed it, though, with some injuries. Of course, that was a 1-0 win against the Red Bulls. I can tell you they absolutely dominated the Red Bulls in that match. I mean, really dominated them. Coronel basically kept the Red Bulls in it, and then it took a fluke penalty to get the goal. It was in the first half. Handball in the box. You'll see it if you see it. It was kind of fluky, but they should have had a 4 in that game. That's how dominant they were in that game. So go before that, it was Montreal on the road, 2-0 victory. In that match, it could have been a lot more than 2. In this case, though, they gave up some opportunities in Montreal where their goalkeeper stepped up. So Chicago's goalkeeper, he's one of the top shot stoppers in the league as well. So that will be a bit of a battle for us. Also, their wing backs were kind of dominating in that game. First goal, yeah, proper overlap, back post, bounced off the post, and then, of course, an easy finish up top. But, they've got some talent, really good talent. Probably the name that's going to stand out the most to all of you would be Hugo Kuipers. 23 games so far, 14 goals. Yeah, he's producing. That's for sure. Then, of course, here we go. Philip Zingmago, 22 games, 10 goals. Brian Gutierrez, 19 games, 7 goals. Jonathan Bamba, 24 games played, 3 goals. He's an outside back, guys. Giving off Hollingshead vibes, that's for sure. And then Barlow with 3, Goodman with 2, and it kind of goes down the line. They've got like 10 players have scored, so they do produce. They do score goals on this team. Assists, well, it's going to be Zinkmagel with 10 assists so far this year. So, yeah, they got somebody making plays. Bomba with 8 coming from that wing again. Gutman and Selassie also producing. Again, injuries have been a thing, but they do produce. This team is kind of up and down. Araceli, I'm sure you've seen them a bit this year. Your thoughts on Chicago so far this season?
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really have much of opinion to their first team because I haven't seen them perform as much this season. But I can say for their second team, Chicago Fire 2, they're extremely talented. And even in the past 2 games, they've scored a collective 15 goals. I know I'm very close to sending the club an invoice for a wrist brace, but it's all to say that, like most clubs, they are starting to sign their secondary team players to a first team contract, like Jason Shukuluk, who is a center mid, and he has been extremely dangerous in the midfield. So if they were to move him up for this match, LAFC might have a tough challenge on their hands.
Yeah, this is not a team to take lightly. I do know they have some injuries, right? They have Mueller out, they have Cups out, Pareba and Rogers. Yeah. So again, defensively, they've had some issues. They have made some replacements too, to bolster the back line. That's for sure. So let's talk about the lineup. I look at the last 2 games they played. Last one's a 4-3-3. The match before that was a 4-2-3-1. So again, depending on opponent, they will switch things up. I mean, it is Greg Berhalter's side, and that guy always switches things up depending on who he's playing. He's pretty active with that, right? Last game, of course, Kuipers was up top. This case, he had Zinkmangel and Bamba wings. Ta was your playmaker. Origal and Gutierrez outside mids. Elliott, Tehran center backs. Barroso, Gutman coming in from those outside back situation. And Brady, of course, was in goal. The 4-2-3-1 that they had before that, again, Kuiper's up top, Gutierrez playmaker, Haile Selassie on the outside mid, Zigmagel on the outside mid, Pineda, Kwame holding it down in the midfield, Elliott, Rogers, center backs with Barroso and Gutman. Yeah, they're your standards. They're coming up that wing. And then Brady in goal. So you see there has been some movement. Again, injuries have kind of caused that for them. But they've made the necessary changes, and they've actually looked really good the last 2 matches. They have. So they're kind of finding their identity even with roster shuffle. And now with this rest, maybe they'll be rusty. Maybe they'll be well rested and healthy. The other face that stood out to me, I think they had, what was it, Omar Gonzalez? Yeah, this way. Yeah, he came into the match against Montreal and really looked good. I know he's old. He's been around a long time. A journeyman, that's for sure. I'm not trying to be mean. If you watch him play, he still has it. He still has it. So he's one of those veteran presence that can come in for them. Yeah, they've got options. Kellen Acosta, familiar face. He found his way in the lineup at some point. Again, there's talent there, and there's a familiar face, a couple of them. So, yeah, not a team to they're not that joke team they used to be. Like Chicago used to be like the doormat team. That's not that team anymore. They're finding their way, that's for sure. And they get good crowds. I forgot to mention that. The crowds are actually pretty decent now at Soldier Field, so that too. Bam, I know we don't see this team a lot. We really don't. Chicago's kind of an enigma for us. We rarely get them on the schedule. Your thoughts, your concerns with Chicago coming in?
Oh, as you said, we rarely see them. In MLS, we've played them twice.
Yeah, it's weird.
We played them 2018, where we did lose 3-1, and we played them 2019 with a 0-0 draw at home. So we played them away and played them at home. So going into this game,
weird. Yeah,
it is very weird, but at the same time, no. Looking at MLS, obviously they want us to play big name teams from the East because it's going to draw money and all that kind of stuff. And Chicago has not been that big name team until now. They've started getting better. They're getting a little bit scary. You look at them; they're just inside the playoffs at the moment. So for them being 2 points into the playoff with the game in hand, they really want to get this and push themselves up higher. You know, get that little bit of a buffer going so they know that they can later on, they know that they can drop a game, if that makes sense. So going into it, it's going to be an interesting one. I think it will be a bit more easier for us. I did look over their social medias, and they have been doing a lot on their time off. That yes, they had the weekend off, but they've been doing a lot more training. So
yeah,
the rust might not be there for them.
So yeah, I mean, again, they're going to stay fresh. They should stay fresh. The injuries are real for them, so that helps too. I don't see any new faces on there. There's less names. That's what I see so far. So not going to be easy. Also, again, crowds have been pretty decent at Soldier Field. I'm a little surprised. Usually it's like a ghost town in there, but I think they had 23,000 last time, which I know Soldier Field, that feels empty, but it's still a decent crowd, right? That would fill our house. So again, good on them for doing something. This is America's second city, right? You would think a city as big as Chicago, you'd build something there. You'd have a contender, and it just hasn't happened. Maybe they'll be on the right path here, just not against us for this weekend, right? We need to get our results, but it won't be easy. That's for sure. I know a lot of you are like, oh, it's just Chicago. Yeah, we can't act that way. We'll get burned. Right, Araceli?
Oh, yeah. And they're even getting a new stadium. So I'm very curious to see what that's going to look like next year or whenever it's built, of course.
Finally, a downtown one, right?
I'm not really sure where it's going to be located, but I know when it comes to Chicago as a whole, I am a little biased with it since they are very close to us, being from KC. Yeah. It is a fun city. I will say that. So if anyone's traveling out there for the game, you will have a great time. I highly recommend going to Michigan Avenue. That's where like all the main shops and bars are. And if you're looking for a deep dish, Do not go to Lumati's. Trust me. You're wasting your money.
There's okay, so in Chicago, there's good food everywhere. Like everywhere. You know, get a Chicago dog. There's no doubt you're gonna have to get one. It's just a rule. You gotta get an Italian, right? Gotta get a proper sandwich. But there's so much good food in that town. That's an eating town. So if you had a bad time in Chicago with getting a meal, I feel bad for you because that is a great town. So I know whoever is going, enjoy it. You will. You honestly will. It's a cool city. It's got its own vibe, right? Right there, Sully. It's very different.
Oh, it really is, especially if you go out into the suburbs. There's like a whole different vibe to even just that. And and not to turn into a travel agent, obviously, but like if you like the Home Alone movies, the house does exist. It is there in the suburbs. So I'm just saying.
I spent a little time in Cicero with some family. Went to some delis where it was like Polish and on that scale, like the delis were amazing there. But again, it's Chicago. Enjoy it on the trip, guys, and hopefully you get a win to celebrate while you're out there too. I know there are people traveling. I saw it. There's gonna be a good number going. So good on you guys for making it happen. All right, that brings it back to us and LAFC, and what are we gonna do with our lineup? How different is it gonna look? Boanga's rested. I think that's an obvious one. So Aristotle, I go to you. What are we gonna do with all this news and lineups? And are we just gonna go with the familiar faces? What are you thinking for this match?
Honestly, that is a very tough question because just looking at League's Cup, generally speaking, it looks like there was a lot of experimentation with the formation and moving around certain players. So with these new signings, I would hope it would, quote unquote, inspire players to step up so they can secure their spots.
That would be the definite hope. Now, that actually creates good questions. One, we have the goalkeeping situation, and it's not. Lloris is back. He was hanging out at the last match. He's rested. Green card's good to go. Yeah, he's ready. He'll be back in goal. There's no question. Hasal, great job, dude. You'll definitely get more games, I think, before the playoffs happen. He's shown it, right? He'll get his minutes as needed. Big boy's back. Center back situation, I think we're still super limited health-wise, right? So who plays? Well, probably what we had before, right? So I'll go to you, Bam. Who are your center backs?
Center back for me, I'm going to go with Segura and Tafari.
Yeah, I can't see it any other way. Even if the new talent is ready to go, you're not going to risk it here. You're just not.
Well,
it's hard.
My big question is who's going to be in goal? Is Lloris back yet?
He is back. He's back. Yeah. He was at the last match. He's back. He's good to go. He's here. So that we're good there. All right. So now you go outside back. Smolikov's kind of made a name for himself the last few games here. Does he get another look-see, or are we going to go back to Palencia Hollingshead? Tough one, right? Aristotle, what are your thoughts?
Given the roster that Chicago has, I would like to see Smolikov started off and then bring Palencia in the second half.
So they are very aggressive. Again, they play the 4-3-3 like we do. I expect that lineup. Okay. They're going to push hard with their outside backs. Same as we do. I mean, honestly, it looks the same. The same. So you're going to have a battle of backs. Do you go with the veterans? Do you go with the kids? Do you pin them back with the talent that we have? Or do you counter them? What do you do? I go to you, Bam. Your thoughts on your outside backs? What are you thinking, man?
Outside backs, I'll say Hollingshead gets a start.
Okay.
But I look at it is Palencia sit. Give him a little bit of a
Nielsen?
break.
Or Smolikov?
I'm gonna say Smolikov. I think Smolikov. As much as Nielsen has a great game, Smolikov is just pipping him for that. So going for that. Palencia's played a lot lately. Give him a little bit of a break and bring in Smolikov and Hollingshead.
There we go. I think we're going with the old guys. Right? Hollingshead, Palencia. Let it rip.
I think so too, but I would like to see the Smolikov Hollingshead.
So there we go. All right. Now your midfield situation. I think I'm going to say predictable is what we're going to see here. Maybe Tillman gets the rest this time. So if I had my way, Jesus, Delgado, Chonier. Let's go for it, man. Let's let it rip, right? Let him have his moment. Reality? Yeah, it's Tillman back in the lineup with the other two. Classic. Araceli, your thoughts on your midfield setup? What do you think Dolo's going with? What would you like to see?
Knowing Dolo, I feel like he would go with the traditional lineup, but I like your prediction a lot better. So I'm going to go with you.
There we go. All right. And you, Bam?
Dolo's going to Dolo, so it's going to be the traditional, but I think it's going to be what I would like to see. Jesus, Martinez, Tillman.
Ooh, which makes the wings situation and forward situation really interesting. So I got to ask you, Bam, now that you've made this modification, who's showing up top?
Ordaz.
Okay. Yeah, he's due. He couldn't play last game. Yeah.
Bawanga.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to chuck in for up top as that other one. Let's give Yabo another run.
Hey, he played good. Put in the work. That's for sure. My prediction, Ordaz, of course, will be in the middle. I think Bawanga and Martinez, like vanilla. That's what we're doing. Does Son get a moment? I don't know. I'm thinking not, but he needs more time with the team, I think. What do you think, Araceli?
I mean, of course, I would love to see Son get the start or even come in as a second half sub, but the reality is he just got here. So they might give him a little more time to get adjusted. But definitely Bawanga, Ordaz, and don't know. I'll leave the third one as a mystery because
yeah, I do think Son's going to travel with the team. Do you guys think he's traveling with the team?
No.
I think he's just going to adjust into the city.
I think adjust in the city. I can see him popping into like a watch party type thing. I can see there's going to be a last minute LAFC official watch party that he'll just.
Well, the one that has like 5 groups maybe could be that one.
Yeah, they're gonna pop into something like that. I can see that happening. The upside to Son, and this is a huge upside, is that he is match ready for the pure fact that he's warming up. He's been playing in Asia, so to me he is match ready.
He's ramping up for a league that starts in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I would really. That's what he's aiming for. So yeah,
I would be very surprised that if Son doesn't travel, that he would not pop up at Baja Grill Cantina.
Are you telling people? No. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, TSG's got an event too, so or multiple. I don't put it past him, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's a chance that he might do a rounds of a few of the watch parties just to pop in and meet the fans a little bit more.
That would be insane. That'd be such an LAFC thing too. So we'll see, guys. The mystery. We'll see what you guys think. There's about 8 comments from the faithful. Let's see what you guys have to say before we wrap this bad boy up. Let me see. Oh man, we've got a few here. Dave says we need at least 6 points on the 3 away matches. We do, because we've been limping. We limped in the Leagues Cup, looking terrible. So something's got to give, right? So that would be important. Q has a question for Araceli here. Says, do you believe that missing a sporting director for Academy for such a long time might have affected LSC2, or just a string of bad luck with results?
I think it could be a mixture of things. I mean, obviously, missing a sporting director is going to have a huge role in it. But if we go back to the very beginning of this season, LAFC2 had lost a lot of players due to the trade window. And I don't know if it's the right thing to say that they're still kind of finding their footing with each other. It feels like they're starting to finally, but I think this is just one of those rebuilding seasons for them.
So yeah, exactly. Talent rebuild, but some prospects for keeps. So we shall see. I again, those who are in charge are still there. Yeah, we'll be fine. Q's got a question about Odin Holm. When does he come back for us? Is he going to be back to his parent team? I think he is back for us. He was listed.
Yeah, he was listed. I did see that. When was it? It was just before Leagues Cup. He played for LAC2 for 45 minutes.
Yep. He appeared in 3 LAFC2 matches, and I think he averaged about 60 to 70 minutes per match.
So they were working he's
okay. Yeah, so I'll see him. I expect him to be on the bench.
Yeah, he'll probably travel to Chicago, guys. I think you might see him there. You might see an appearance. You might. And then Q says, any updates on Ibobase? Honestly, it looked bad. I don't expect him to be available for this match. Might not be listed injured yet, but I think he will be. What do you think, Bam?
For me, give him 2 weeks.
I think so too.
I don't expect him to travel for the next 2 games. Just leave him back here, get him rehab. You look at it too. He's not young.
No,
he's not young. So you look at it and go, just keep him going how he is. Let him look after his body right, and go from there.
Maybe make a few more podcast appearances. Just saying, we love that. So yeah. Let's see. David Day mentions beating Tigres. Yes, a good day. That's for sure. Dave is loving Portillos. I see that as well. And that looks like that's our comments, guys. Thank you again. Y'all rock. You're the reason why we do what we do here, as we keep it going. All right. It's gone long tonight. It should have gone long. It was an important week for LAFC. So what does that mean? We give our final thoughts. We wrap this bad boy up and call it a night. And of course, we celebrate the weekend. So for the final thoughts, I'm going to go to Bam first. Your final thoughts, sir.
Final thoughts for everyone traveling to Chicago. Be safe. Enjoy the game. Don't do anything stupid. Don't be an idiot. Enjoy yourselves. Make some friendships. We don't see Chicago much, so if you can make up some friendships while you're over there, get some good spots, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we have football starting to ramp up all around the world. Again, get out there, watch as much as you can, enjoy yourselves, speak to friends. I'll harp on again. I like harping on about it. Mental health is major important. Next to your heart, your mental health is the next most important organ in your body. Without your brain, without your mental health, you can't function right. You can't do what you do. You get into lulls and all that kind of stuff. So reach out to your friends, reach out to families, reach out to loved ones, reach out to new people. You're at the tailgate, you see someone you haven't seen before, go say hi. You never know what might happen. You might spark up a great friendship that can last for years. it's how I met Joseph. So, and look at this. What's that? 13 years later,
13,
and look at
yep.
us. So
Getting into
again,
trouble and getting ready for a World Cup, right?
100%. So again, I'll give you the phone numbers for those in LA that do need it. If you do need it, use it. It's there for a reason. If you need a helpline, dial 800-854-7771. Or if you don't want to talk, you can text to 988, and there will be someone there that can help you.
Well said, sir. Well said. Araceli, with the late night contributions this week, I know it's late for you. I'm going to give you the floor. What are your final thoughts as we head into another busy weekend?
I mean, it's almost 2 a.m., so saying it's a late night is a little of an understatement. But hey, like I said earlier, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to talk LAFC with you guys. I will do my best to return as much as possible, but as you know, I mentioned playoffs are coming up soon, so there might be a couple weeks that I might disappear again. But otherwise, before all of that, wishing everyone safe travels to Chicago. As you guys heard from me and Joseph, it is a fun city. There is a lot to do there. And I'll just throw this out there very quickly. KC is a 45-minute flight from Chicago. I'm just saying, okay? But regardless, definitely have a fun time out there and have a great weekend.
Another beautiful city, Kansas City. It is. It is. She's right. Those cities are great. They're like the highlights of the Midwest, I will say. Yeah, Chicago, dude. I'm telling you, it's cool. Lucky those who got to travel. All right. Gives me my final thoughts and my final thank you to all of you guys. Once again, thank you for another wonderful episode to my crew. Tony, safe travels, sir. Can't wait to get you back on for the next one. We will see you soon, my friend. And for the rest of you, we will see you again next week. Unless you see some of us at watch parties and all that fun stuff. I bet you Tony finds his way to one. You know how it runs. But yes, be safe out there. Have a good time. There's so many places to go see this match. And for those traveling, again, travel safe. And for everybody else, of course, what do we say to close out the episode? Bam.
Stay golden.
Araceli.
Stay golden.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.